have in front of me the Redmi K20. We're going to unbox this. This is the little brother to the K20 Pro. It's got a mid-range chipset and some cheaper components, a much cheaper price, but it shares a lot of the same design. So let's get into the box. So here it is, the Redmi K20. Now I've already had the K20 Pro, I've unboxed it and I've tested it, and wow, I'm really impressed with that device from Redmi. My unit was $2,499. That's a Snapdragon 855 with a pop-up camera and a bezel-less display. Really great value. Well, the K20 is bringing us a very similar design. At the moment, it looks pretty much exactly the same as the K20 Pro. Of course, you have the SIM ejector tool in here, and Redmi give you a really nice case with this one. It's hard and solid, and it is something that I would actually use on the phone. I wouldn't have to buy another case. Really pleased that Redmi include this type of case in the box. It's actually something that we can use. So the setup on the K20 is very similar to the K20 Pro, although the components used for that setup do differ. You get 18-watt fast charging out of this one, no wireless charging, but 18-watt fast charging is a really good inclusion. I can't believe how similar this phone looks to the older brother. They are pretty much exactly the same size. It feels like that anyway. So there you have it, a Snapdragon 730 on this one. That differs from the K20 Pro. We're looking at a sort of mid-range or even a budget device. It's very hard to say where it comes, because do you think the price makes it a budget phone, or do you think the specs make it a budget phone? In any case, in mainland China, the price is 2,000 RMB for this version. It does get a little bit more expensive if you add some memory on there, but wow, 2,000 RMB for all these specs, and it looks exactly like the K20 Pro. Really good looking phone, and I went for the red this time. On the top there, you just have that pop-up camera, and you also get a headphone jack up there as well. It's a great design, and I have to say, it really just is so similar to the K20 Pro. I'm not sure if there's any real difference between the design between them. This one's got an Amoled screen as well, just like the K20 Pro. And there you can see absolutely no bezels, and there's no notch up there because you have the pop-up camera. I hope when I turn it on that it looks the same as the K20 Pro. And it really does. What a lovely AMOLED screen. The design, again, just like the K20 Pro. Anyone who uses a Xiaomi device will be very familiar with this. These are the bloatware apps that you get on the Chinese ROM. Very easy to delete those, no problem. A very simple and clean design. You can use app launchers and you can change a lot of the aspects as you see fit. Let's just get into the camera app and see what this is like. You get that ultra wide camera on here. You can see those buttons there. You can go from the ultra wide to the main to the zoom camera. I'm really glad that they are very similar to the K20 Pro, because I think that design is an upgrade from the Mi 9. You can change all the settings here. I'm just going to take the watermark off because no one wants that on their photos. But all in all, it feels really snappy, and it feels like a much more expensive device. Maybe that's because I'm used to using the K20 Pro, which has just been a great experience over the last few days. You do get 4K video recording on this one too, which is really great for such a cheap device. Slow-mo as well, up to 960 frames a second. Really pleased that that's on there. This is a mid-range or a budget device, and we've got all these great features on there. Let's see what that screen looks like when we're watching video.
More shaky than the P30 Pro, that's for sure. So just have a look at how these selfie cameras are dealing with the background, because I'm going from well lit to dark situations, so it's going to be changing the exposure there. Have a look at the stabilization as well.
It's so great that Xiaomi give us an even cheaper device than the K20 Pro, but give us an experience that is very similar to that. So for sure, the triple camera there uses cheaper components than the K20 Pro, but the experience you get is going to be very similar on a day-to-day basis. That goes with the fingerprint sensor as well. Cheaper device, but it still has that underscreen fingerprint sensor. Let's see how quick it is. Yeah, it's actually really not bad. Let's just try that again. I'm really pleased with that. To have an underscreen fingerprint sensor Yeah, it just works really well, so no problems with that whatsoever. I do wonder just how different this is from the K20 Pro. We're just going to have to compare them very quickly. Wow, they're so similar, aren't they? So obviously the blue one is the K20 Pro, but to my eye, they are exactly the same in design. Now, obviously the internals are different, but they just look so similar. If you had the K20, no one could tell you that it was a K20 Pro unless they looked at the power button. You see there's a difference there. On the other side, there's actually no difference at all. So it's just the power button. The K20 Pro still is on the right hand side, but looking at those two screens, you can see the experience that you get from both the phones is going to be very, very similar. So do you pay the extra money and go for the K20 Pro, or do you save the money and get the K20? They both look really great. They're going to give you a very similar experience. Obviously, the K20 Pro being more expensive, you have to say it's a better phone. But really, in day-to-day usage, look at these two. So similar. Two great phones in the K20 series from Xiaomi.